Fulham fans travelled to St James Park with their team bottom of the Premier League. They exited Tyneside still rock bottom, but with a significant change in mood. Before the game, the Fulham fans were pretty unanimous, see below, in believing that their team were beyond useless, with many players not even giving 100%, no chance of staying up against a Newcastle side indecent, with it being a case of how many Rafa's team would win by, now whether they would. 90 minutes later and the hardy few who made the trip, see above, were in a very different mood. Instead seeing spirits raised with a much better team performance that many of them thought actually deserved all 3 points, whilst the impression of Newcastle was less than positive, Rafa's team seen as poor and negative, not managing a single effort on target. Big difference now for Fulham fans, thanks to Newcastle, is hope. Fulham fans comment via their top message boards. Friend of Fulham and Fulham Web, pre-match, cannot see us winning again with this squad, our lot couldn't beat a carpet. We don't win away, we are guaranteed to concede goals. 2-0 Newcastle, don't see us sadly beating anyone with the current malaise, lack of team spirit, defensive frailty etc. Rondon will have a field day against us. 0-2, can we get to halftime without conceding 2 goals? I doubt it. Watch out for a big score for Newcastle, we've done well up there of late, if I remember correctly, but I can't see us winning. Rafa has them playing well at the moment. Heart says draw, head says loss, 2-1, yeah well I'm tipping us to lose, in fact I can't see us winning any game. Roll on the championship, the 4th hotel and the town hall pubs near Central Station are excellent. Me and some mates ended up in a pub called Rosie's next to Chinatown back in 2012 when we had a Sunday match, and we ended up having a lock-in until 2 AM with the bar staff. Brilliant pub, I can't see how we can get points from Newcastle away, Arsenal away and Wolves at home. We might able to get a draw against HTFC. At which point, we could be 7 to 8 points from safety. Southampton have sealed our fate for this season, so the last rites can now be read. Cardiff and Huddersfield will accompany us on the journey down. Burnley, Newcastle and Palace have too much know-how, so the bottom 3 are certain. Post-match, Newcastle were so poor, so let us not get carried away with today's result, as welcome as it was. We will have to make changes, again, to our starting 11 if we want to try and beat Wolves and Huddersfield. Pretty good performance today against a poor Newcastle attacking display. Not sure how they have won 4 games recently, but we will certainly be grateful for the point. We kept a clean sheet and had the chances to have scored 3 to 4 ourselves. A lot of people moan about being up in the gods at St James PK. I like the view and it gives you the full picture of the game. The back 5 were magnificent, Chambers everywhere showing real commitment to the cause. Kearney pulling the strings, Mitro working his socks off for the cause. A couple of the lads were out on their backs at the end, which is pleasing to see. Funny, that's how my only trip to Newcastle ended too. One thing is for sure, my Newcastle mates say they can't score to save their lives, and he's right. I hate to spoil the party. But in the end 2 points dropped. Brilliant clean sheet. Newcastle were never a threat. In the last few minutes we had enough chances, but seriously we were brilliant. Great effort. Ref useless, but I do not think any of the penalty shouts were penalties, so on or done. It has been an awful season so far. So a clean sheet is something to celebrate. No need to go much further than that. I don't care how bad Newcastle were. Today is a good day, for those who know their football. Kennedy is a well-known diver. He has been booed by opposition supporters in various games because of simply that. One knew he would throw himself down at the first occasion with this woeful official enticing exaggeration, but it was so exaggerated not even Atkinson could bring himself to give it. Mitro knows the refs are looking to book him a 5th time to set off the automatic ban before it is reset in January, so any protests are muted, but it was a blatant penalty. One saw softer pens given in man. UDD's game just now. Fulham cannot even get a cast iron penalty. As much as I admire Mitro, most teams in the place have at least one better striker than him. We must not get carried away with a clean sheet and 1 point away to a very poor Newcastle team. The hard work starts now. 2 home games in 4 days and we must get 6 points from them. Fulham were cheated at the end with a blatant penalty not given, also phantom fouls given against Mitrovic. They are trying to castrate him. Not only did Newcastle not score, they didn't even have a shot on target. The handball was far closer to a penalty than Kennedy half falling down in our box. Sarri has finally awoken from his months of slumber and produced the performance he was bought for, using his clear ability with his feet and provide the midfield composure we desperately needed. There was a nice moment in the first half where he maneuvered the ball between both feet in Fulham's own penalty box and beat the opposing attacker to get the ball clear, a moment of confidence and finesse that Sarri's name and price tag demands. I sat in the Milburn stand with 2 Newcastle supporting mates and they both said they wish they had someone like Sarri in their midfield and were purring over some of his first-time passes. I thought he was pretty decent today, but the way we set up, the poor bloke is so often overrun in central midfield. By the way, the defense were immense today, not pretty or cultured, but the number of blocks was so impressive as they all put their bodies on the line for the first time in a while. I just hope Ranieri now sticks with this defensive formation and doesn't tinker again for Wolves. Huge result for us getting the clean sheet. Big weight off our shoulders. They all played their part. Newcastle were on a dangerous counter and Sarri took a yellow card with an excellent professional foul. That could have saved a goal. He played well. Shearer reckoned ours was a penalty and their shout for one wasn't. Watching the MOTD edit, you'd think Newcastle were permanently in our penalty area for 87 minutes and we just had the 2 chances in the dying minutes, just watching the Sky highlights. Different game. I think if Kamara keeps this up he's going to score some important goals for us this season. I'm not ignoring his work effort during games where his defense is down. We defended well, and could have won it. We looked like a unit, and organized. So much more commitment.